Before we start all that, which did a survey only this year, August 23rd, 2012, 665 people they asked that question to. What do you think was the most popular answer?
PC World.
PC World?
Yeah, well then Mickey Mouse advertising.
Right, okay. That's interesting.
Business.
All right, we'll hold that. PC World.
Local business.
Local business. Anybody else?
Local.
Sorry?
Local business.
Local business as well? Yes, Bill?
A friend.
A friend. Okay. This is what they said. Who would you trust to most fix your computer? Me, myself and I. Isn't that interesting? Yeah? I would rather do it. If I knew how, I would rather do it. Now hang on. What have we been talking about? Self-help guides, information, education of customers. The basics, the simple stuff that they could do for themselves. This is where that sits. We're not teaching people to be experts. We're not teaching people how to change hard drives. Simple stuff. What to look for, how to set things up. But a local independent repair service was pretty closely second. Yeah? Local independent retailer. Sorry, your PC World didn't do too well, did it?
It's a marketing point.
Further evidence. The surveys that we've done with customers, or for customers to create PR, 500 members of the public asked about independent shopping preferences, said that they would rather use local independent retailers, which do a study that says the same. People want to use you. You have to ask yourself if they're not, why? Because you've got such huge advantages. We spoke about all these things that people look for in the shops that they buy from. Yeah? Convenience right through to affinity. The fact that you're a part of the local community. The fact that you're active in the local community. That you're a local independent retailer. With everything in between. Lots of things that you have, we discussed, that the big guys don't. And we discussed, about those survey findings. Yet, you're not getting your fair share. Why could that be? Why do the big guys prevail? Well, there's a few views on this. The more you narrow down and focus on repairs, the more inconvenient you are to use, because you become so narrow that I only need to come to you for one thing. Yep, I can't save time. I can't visit you and pick up other stuff. I have to come to you for one thing. And let's face it, if it's a choice between making an extra visit to you or getting it fixed at Tesco, I'll go to Tesco because that's where I'm going as well anyway. So the narrower you become, I'm not suggesting you become like Tesco, but the narrower you become, the more inconvenient you are to use. Customers will forget you're a retailer. They'll only think of you when something breaks. That's the only time you're going to be of use to me, if that's all you do. Because otherwise, you don't do anything that could be of use to me. Let's talk a bit about that business of being narrow. Successful business is regular business. How often do people need computers repaired? Now, this is going to vary widely, I know. But if I take my own experience, in 30 years of working, that's all I've ever had happen to me. 2 hard drive failures, a motherboard go-to, and 2 viruses that I couldn't sort myself. Now, I'm not an IT expert. I'm reasonable with IT, yes, but I'm no IT expert. And I certainly wouldn't have been able to deal with those first 2. But that's no way to build a business. If you're relying on that kind of work, you need thousands of customers to build up a decent business. How often do people buy new computers? What's the life cycle between new purchases? Now, again, that will vary a lot. But in my own case, my dear old Dell Inspiron 6400 is still going fine. It's 7 years old. Why do I want a new one? That will run until it dies. I'm not out to buy a new one. I don't buy for the sake of trend. Perhaps other people do. But again, if you're relying on these kinds of things, selling just new computers and doing repairs, you're fishing in a very small pond. And are you stocking just what you think you should stock because you've always stocked it? Speakers, could be all kinds of products. I'm not saying speakers are right or wrong, it's just an example. Or are you stocking what you know will create regular customers? Let's take a look at the shop. I'm sorry the quality of the picture's not too brilliant. Let's take it on my BlackBerry rather quickly. This is a customer I went to see. And you can see on his wall, that's a keyboard, there's IT stuff all around here. You see a bull guard symbol. Yeah? I think somebody might have noticed something else that's in them. Sweets. Now, I'm not telling you to become a sweet shop, all right? But this is his shop, okay? Look, there's the cables, there's the inks, and there's the wall that I took a picture of. Down here, there's paper and media. Yeah? What is he doing? He's thinking about the footfall that's all around him and he's applying himself to it. It just so happens that one end of the street that he's on has a large secondary school. The other end of the street has a bus station. Kids pass all the time. What do kids like? Sweets. But what does that do? That gets them in. That gets them talking. When I was with him, a young lad came in from school at playtime. I've dropped my iPad. It's broken. I've broken the screen. Can you fix it? Kids have got mobile phones. Kids have got parents. It's a way of extending your business to create more customers.
Does it dilate what you're trying to achieve and what you are?
Not necessarily, no. Why should it?
Tesco do it. The opposite way.
I don't know, I just can't see, I'm looking at a sweet shop there and a computer shop.
Remember his engineers, right?
Maybe it's...
Out the back here where his engineers are, and his engineers don't serve on the counter. They only come out when people want to talk about computers.
It doesn't look good for me, but it doesn't look professional.
Doesn't look professional?
Not at all.
Well, the choice is yours about how you go about doing things. I'm not telling you to be a sweet shop. I'm telling you about extending your base. I'm telling you about you need to give people reasons to pop in and speak to you. Because if you take the route of only selling new equipment and doing repairs, your pool is dying, your pool is shrinking. It's harder for you to do business. What about focusing on things like, paper, office supplies, those sorts of things?
Well, that ties in with...
Yeah, and you'd see that more as a logical, right? I put this up here to be provocative. Right? It shows what's going on. There's somebody in here in the room today, yeah, and I've heard of another customer, or it might have been you actually as well, you sell ladies second-hand clothes. Yeah? I spoke to another business today who's being integrated with a post office. Yes, sir?
We've got a gym upstairs of our premises.
Right.
We sell a nutrition product in our shop. So it sells.
So you put product in with
We've got a
them?
gym upstairs where our shop is.
Yes.
They don't sell any nutrition products related to that.
Nutrition products?
Yeah, so we sell that at our shop. And it sells, and people come and they ask for
Nutrition products. We've got customers that sell electronic cigarettes. Yes.
Right, we went on holiday this year, we went down to Devon.
Right.
We went through a little village, I can't remember what it was called, there's a company there called PC and Pets and they sell hamsters. And I got the strangest look when I went in and asked him for a mouse and he believed me, he says, that's not the first time I've heard that, I was a bit bored of that. But it genuinely is called PCs and Pets.
I like that, a mouse. Yes. Sorry.
I was going to say I can vouch for it. Upstairs in my premises, I do fast hand sunbeds.
Fast hand sunbeds.
It's upstairs, it's not being used for anything. Why not get people in on?
Yeah.
Exactly.
It's thinking more broadly about what you could do. One of the great things you can do, we've got examples of customers who've done this, is think about all the footfall that others have created for you. You haven't marketed to the people that are around you, but if you happen to be sited opposite a hairdresser that focuses on doing blue rinses and gents cuts for OAPs, then why not put together an offer that appeals to OAPs? A special build, complete with Windows Senior 7 for Dummies or whatever it was, complete with a 3 hours worth of training for a price. And why not generate a decent amount of business off the back of that? Because you thought about your products and your range and you packaged it up either by introducing new things or bundling what you were doing in a way that appeals to what's around you. Okay? That's the point I'm making. I'm not suggesting that you will go in and start selling ice cream. I'm not suggesting that you will go and selling sweets. It's about stretching the limits, thinking more widely. Why do they also prevail? I've touched on this several times before. But there's a very simple issue. People do have problems with trusting people because they've been disappointed previously. And it's not that they don't want to trust you. It's just they don't know that they can. They've got no other evidence. They may not have had a recommendation. They may not have heard about you. They just know that you're there. They've got nothing to say that you would be good to use. And if they don't know that you would be, they'll avoid the risk. People hate being disappointed. People hate wasting their time and money on stuff that doesn't work. And you have to make it blindingly obvious. It's said that it takes 8 touches. It takes eight message touches to actually get a person to start recognising that you are communicating with them. And that's an awful lot of effort. And why do they prevail? We spoke about simple price-led offers, yeah, this morning, about how they only present your business in one dimension, and that's all about price. And we spoke about the issues to do with relying on word of mouth. You're just relying on customers to do it for you, to sell your business for you, and that it's a dodge. Yeah? Is this a professional way to run and promote a business? Well, I would say it isn't. I think there's other things you can do. But it's not about more leaflets, and it's not about more adverts. And that's what we're going to be talking about. I alluded to this at the very beginning. The purpose of your marketing is to challenge beliefs and tell a compelling story about why you are different and better than everyone around you. Yeah? Why you are different and better than everyone around you. And you need to do that by playing to those factors that we spoke about this morning.